Hello guys, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I just got back from a 3-hour trip. So I'm in a horrible state of mind, as you can probably tell by the video, which means I should make a video. Um, I want to share something that I thought was rather funny that happened today, and that is when I was coming back from work. Get used to the uhs because I'll probably use them a lot. When I was coming back from work, I had to take the bus, and city buses are a big deal here in Brazil, and it's one of the things I use to get from one side of the city to the next. Okay, now I get on this one bus, and pretty much all the seats are taken, and I'm walking to the back of the bus, and there's an empty seat there, there's an empty seat there, but I choose to stand, as is my tradition. Usually I stand, and that way, if any elderly couples come in, or pregnant mothers, so on and so forth, they get the seat. So I take my stand behind this empty seat. It's actually a double seat. There's someone sitting over here, but there's empty here, and I'm standing there and holding onto this pole because there's pole railings going down the full extent of the bus. And the bus starts off, doom, and it's ricocheting back and forth and all this. And all of a sudden, I get this whiff of something delightful. It smells very, very good. I'm like, and here, empty seat here, the person sitting on the second double seat is this young lady. And I guess she's gotten all prepared to go over to see her boyfriend or something, because she's got this awesome perfume on. The best perfume I've ever smelled in my entire life. It's just awesome. And I get to hold onto my little pole and take a whiff of that, every so often. And I'm thinking, you know what, Daniel? This is your reward. Humanity has chosen you to stand behind this lady so you can smell that awesome perfume. This, after all those weeks and months and years of giving up your seat for elderly women and pregnant mothers and so on and so forth, this is the way your reward finally comes. And that you, of all people, are chosen to stand right here behind this lady with this wonderful perfume on. And so the bus is going back and forth, I'm going back and forth, and it's delightful perfume. I was about ready to pay the lady just to take my nose with her wherever she went, because it was great. No sooner had I become content in that this was all some sort of reward for my well-doing, but the bus stops at a bus stop. And there's a whole line of people getting ready to get on the bus, and at the start of the line, the first one into the bus is this man. And he's got scraggly facial hair, and he's semi-drunk. He's drunk a little bit too much. And he hasn't taken a bath for, I'd say, 3 or 4 years. Yeah. And he smells it. So here he comes down the line, and he's a little bit drunk, and he's looking, empty seat there, and he sees the empty seat right in front of me. And he sits down in the empty seat. No. This isn't good. And from holding onto my pole, I just lean forward and go. The entire trip home was Mr. Pig sitting in front of me. Well, I got to savor his sense. And yes, I could have moved somewhere else, but it was against my sense of manhood to leave the battlefield while there was so much at stake. So what gives? If it at first was my reward and my recompense for my well-doing, if this was humanity's way of thanking me, how do you explain the stinkiest person and worst smelling person and the best smelling person both sitting in front of me for the entire of the trip, and I not being able to enjoy the moment, but instead having to take in wisp after wisp of this man's hygienic infirmity? It was a long, stinky ride home.